Hi there. Doing another slightly different video. Um, this is probably going to be part one in a series of basically I'm showing the oldest books that I have. Now, there's a difference. There's going to be different parts of this. The first part that I'm starting with is the oldest books that I still have from my childhood that I still have hung on to. And there's only a handful of those books that I kept. And there's a few other books over there I'm going to show as part of this that are ones that I had as a kid, um, but didn't hang on to. Um, there's these are basically are going to be Star Wars, Transformers, and GI Joe books. Now, the other parts of this little series that will happen is I'm going to actually show the oldest books that I have now in my collection that the oldest DC books I have, the oldest Marvel books I have, and the um, oldest indie books I have, I guess would be to put it. We'll see whether I do the indie part or not. I might not do that part, but I at least wanted to start with this. These are the books, and let me switch back to here. These are the books of my childhood. I know a lot of people have posted things like this, come up, on YouTube. It's like the books that they grew up with. Well, I grew up mainly reading. If you've ever watched my intro um, video, which is actually my third video I've ever posted, not the first one, um, I grew up reading Star Wars and G.I. Joe and Transformers. Those were my main three. And for DC, it was mostly the Flash, like the Wally West Flash. That was my Flash. And for Marvel, it was Spider-Man, a little bit, some Thor, all that sort of thing. But I wanted to have this be about what were my favorite books. And when I was getting rid of books years and years ago, they were specific ones I hung on to and I refused to let go. And these first four are all the four parts of the Return of the Jedi 4-issue limited series, which nowadays are not so easy to find. And, this one has a bit of a spine roll on it already. But I remember, and for these books being my childhood books, they're actually not too bad in condition. So there was that one, and that one's a newsstand, by the way. And I think some of them are newsstands, and they're like, I think those are like Canadian price variant newsstands. And we got issue 2 with this great art, Darth Vader artwork. That one's not a newsstand. I got number 3. Let me pick up number 4 at the same time. This and I haven't read this in a while, but you'll see why in a second. And issue 4, a long time ago, the cover of mine got pulled off. I don't remember why. It might have gotten damaged, and I was like, I can't remember. But that's like, I think I was trying to take out. There's a couple of pieces in the back of this one that's missing, and I think what it was is there's like pinups in the back, and I took those out, but I didn't take them out carefully enough, and it basically destroyed the book. So, and let's I'm gonna flip over the Transformer one. Yes, it is Transformers, the last one. Last 2 actually that I still have in my collection. But yeah, so would I get a better copy of the number 4? Yeah, maybe someday, but it's not a requirement. And here, let me where is it? And I have slowly been reacquiring some of the Star Wars books that I used to have. And this is one of the ones that I originally owned when I was a kid. And this is actually, and I've mentioned this in a different video, this is one of my favorite stories. Basically, it's Princess Leia's story. And if you've read this, understand who this stormtrooper is. I won't spoil it for you, but go find Star Wars number 86 and read it. I think it's an excellent story. So just figured I'd show that one as well. There's a couple other ones that I've picked up that I had before, but with my memory, I can't always remember which ones I remember them mostly by the cover. Now, I don't own any of the G.I. Joe books that I had when I was a kid, so I figured I'd show these and to say what it is I know, like, this is the IDW 100 penny press reprint of the first issue. This is the only way I'll ever probably be able to afford this issue, is the reprint. And I have it, and I can read it, and I think I actually have read it at least once already. That's good to have. And these are a couple of the issues that I had from G.I. Joe, issue 48 and 49. I had these as a kid. Didn't hang on to my copies, but I have reacquired them, and basically reacquired them out of dollar bin books. Basically, these are dollar bin books. So, and I have a few more that I have, when I'm picking them up, I'm looking for the ones that I owned initially. So, and next thing, you can see this here. That's also the reprint, the most recent reprint. But what I decided to hang on to, and I had a Transformers subscription for almost the entire last half of the run of books. So I had pretty much them all, but I didn't hang on to them, and I kind of wish I had. But the two I did hang on to are these. These are the Transformers Comic Magazine Digest, issue number 2 and number 3. I never had the issue number 1 of the digest, but these, when I was getting rid of my older comic books, these two I refused to let go of, and I am very glad I still have those in my collection. So those are going to stay with me forever, pretty much. So those are the books that are remaining from my childhood, those ones specific. And then I was really glad that Image Skybound recently did the Transformers number 1 reprint. I never actually owned this issue when I was a kid, so I'm glad to have it now. And a reprint's fine. I don't need to spend a fortune on whatever it costs now. And a couple other things that I picked up just this last summer. I came across these. These were not $1. Got these at a parking lot sale that our Antiques Mall put on. And the guy had all 4, as you can see. Now, when I was a kid, I did not have all 4 of these, but I'm pretty sure I had this one, I had number 2, and I had number 4. I remember having number 4 for sure, but I don't think I had 1, and I don't think I had 3. But these were things I saw them and was like, I love it. Number 3 is a newsstand. The other ones are all direct editions. I saw those and it was like, had to pick those up for some nostalgia of my collection. So there we go. That's just a short little video showing you where my comic book journey began, I guess, where I started collecting. Like I said, I started, also my childhood was Spider-Man and The Flash for DC, and I've reacquired a few Flash books and a few of the Spider-Man books. Not Amazing Spider-Man; those are expensive. I don't have money for those. But I've actually came across some of the first initial issues of the Spider-Man run that was the Todd McFarlane run. I actually found those for pretty cheap, but not the number 1 or any of the really keys. But at least I don't think I had any of the keys. But I think that's for a different video if I decide to show those. I don't have very many of the Flash books. I haven't reacquired very many. And the same is true, like I said, the Spider-Man, do I really need to do that? I don't think so. Like I said, the next part of this, the oldest books I own sort of series, is going to be the oldest. And I probably will start with DC Comics. I didn't own a lot of DC Comics when I was a kid. A few Superman, like I said, mostly Flash. I think I had like the first 12 of the Wally West series. I don't know, something like that. I don't know. And I grew up in a small little town, so I only had whatever appeared on the comic rack. So if they stopped carrying it, I didn't have it anymore. So that's why I insisted that I have, and my parents were willing to let me have a Transformers subscription. Wasn't going to let that go. I mean, I think I even had a G.I. Joe subscription for a while, but I can't remember. It was a long time ago. So there we go. Another short little video for you. Appreciate you tuning in. Like, comment, subscribe, all that stuff. Much appreciated. And hey, have yourself a great day. Bye.